दिल को हजार बार रोका रोका रोका.
Who do you identify yourself most?
I identify as fabulous. And the only person I think I'm going to please continuously and consistently is my damn self. I'll keep being fabulous. You keep being salty, toxic. It's not good for the skin. If Sushant was not in the picture, Rani would never be in the forefront. We didn't have people walking down the runways that were from my community, that looked like me, that I could feel connected to. I had to sparkle and shine so bright that I had to dim this hate for every child that sees me today. You just be yourself. Everybody has to adjust. नहीं हो रहा adjust निकलो. ये सब ना करें तेवर यहाँ नहीं चलेंगे. देखिए talent बहुत है, घमंड नहीं है.
Sushant, welcome to BiE Banter.
Thank you.
I had a list of different titles for you, but decided that I'll just get to know you as we move on.
Yes.
From all the titles that I was beginning to read, who do you identify yourself most with?
First of all, namaskar, namaste, and
Namaskar.
namasle, as I say. I don't know how to say this to you, and I don't know a lot of people that actually throw back compliments at somebody who's so iconic in so many ways. And you are a wonderful inspiration to my generation that saw you on television, on the runway, on the hoardings, advertising for some of the most beautiful brands. But I thought in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I thought they got better because queens like you advertised for them.
Thank
and
you,
then
darling.
you are a wonderful mother and an entrepreneur. What have you not done? You see, the thing is, the OG queen complimenting Rani is very perfect in my fantasy. So I think that when my team said that we have this request, and I was like, of course. When can I make myself available? And I would just first of all like to thank you for everything that you do, and you continue to inspire with your nearly 4 decades. I mean, come on. I mean, from the time you won Miss India and in '87 and to now, like, you have just been at it with your inspiring journey, and I would like to thank you first.
Thank you.
So-
I haven't heard a rebuttal back before I could even finish my introduction. But thank you. That makes me feel great, and I feel special in front of this team. Of
As
people
you
in this-
should, as in front of the
Thank you.
world. I think that sometimes we forget the OG icons, and every generation must be reminded, and this is their reminder. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Now, coming to your question, I identify as fabulous. I'm so much more than a pronoun. I'm so much more than my gender expression. I'm so much more than all the labels that everybody attaches for their convenience or the lack thereof. I think I'm put on this earth for a larger purpose, and that is to explain to people that my art is so much more than a gender or a pronoun or any barriers that we put for ourselves. So my art is boundless, and I am an artist, and I am an artist of this world because I carry India wherever I go, whether it's in this studio in Bandra West or it's in Bangladesh, that I was till very recently India's cultural ambassador for their art summit, the Dhaka Art Summit, or whether it's at the Los Angeles Convention Center with RuPaul representing India, or whether it's in London at the largest stadiums and arenas, the O2 and the XL Arena. I always take, and not just Indian. When I say Indian, it's not only Bollywood as an entity. I take my entire community, and when I say that, that's why I say I'm an artist of the world and from India. I'm very proud of the fact that I'm Indian, and I'm very happy to carry my ethnicity and culture wherever I go. And I'm very proudly Konkani Marathi. So I take my Nathanis, and today I've worn a small, so that it just doesn't disturb entirely this aesthetic. But because otherwise everybody asks
That's
me,
fabulous.
where do you
That
get
is
your
fabulous,
Nathanis
by
from?
the way.
I usually
That
get my
is-
Nathanis from Dadar station, and I think that there's nothing wrong in admiring artisans from wherever they are. It could be wherever. Now I find the best Nathanis in Dadar station, so then I buy them from Dadar station. Some people are not very honest, and you'd know this when you're in the business, and you'd know some. I don't want to take the names, but some people would just like pick up jewelry from other designers and then put one extra kundan and say, "Wow, we've created this." So see, for me, I think give the credit to where it's due.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and when I carry all of this and I take it abroad and take it internationally, everyone is proud of the fact that I'm doing it, and that's what I thrive to do, to make people who matter most to me and my country proud of me. So wherever I go, I try to do the best I can. Now again, there are absurd standards of how a person should be, and oh my God, why are you like this? You decide what are your pronouns, huh? You can't be he, she, and they, and this and that. I was like, but that's what you believe. So I hope you get better, and and you experience the world and many more people and cultures. And till then, I'm still going to be what I said, that I am initially. I'll keep being fabulous. You keep being salty, toxic. It's not good for the skin. I heard Shalini say this on a reel. She said, "I don't give in to negativity. It affects my skin." It's true.
It's true.
It's true, and you'd know because we're going to talk about how I'm going to steal all of these products, and I'm giving you a disclaimer already. I'm going to just take all of this. I can see many bags. I'm going to just take them, so it doesn't amount to stealing. I'm telling you now. But yeah, they can be toxic. They can be whatever they want. I have only been taught to be amazing, fabulous, concentrate on my art, and in the process make a lot of money and empower more people.
I think by the end of this podcast, I would have learned a lot and maybe grown a little bit here. Because at some point, you conform. Mm-hmm. It can't be just no boundaries anywhere. At some point, you conform. Do you have that point somewhere in the horizon where you actually conform and say, I'm bounded by this, or it's just free?
Someone has to break the molds. Now, a lot of people are like, if you're a transgender person, so there's this whole thing, I'll tell you. This is the beauty of how when people want to troll you, but they're not well equipped. So I'm going to actually tell them, if you want to troll somebody, because this has become a full-time profession. So now as professionals, for example, this gentleman behind the camera now he'll make this show, okay? He's in charge of this show. Someone will say something, do you think he's going to go and reply to every comment or every troll? He doesn't have the time. He's on the set, he's on this set, making money, to feed his family, to feed himself. And he's going to go back, he's going to spend time with his family, he's going to have a wonderful dinner with his family, and wake up the next day and come to work and have a lovely life. He's not bothered about how much negativity there is in the world. So I have realized that if I start conforming to what people think of me, I'm going to be in this rut where I'm going to try to please them. And the only person I think I'm going to please continuously and consistently is my damn self.
So tell me, in today's age or the new age, would you say that suppression leads to evolvement?
Suppressing what?
Suppression, like when there is something that has been suppressed for a while. Mm-hmm. In the old days, I would say that you wilt and die. Mm-hmm. In the new days, that's today.
Right.
Do you feel that suppression gives you that evolvement where you're able to say that I have no boundaries? This is about me. This is about how I feel.
Yes.
It's not about how you feel or about how you think I should feel.
Perfect. I believe it. I believe it. And also, I think that when you learn that you have to unlearn and relearn every now and again, you can't. None of us are some gyanis.
No.
None of us. Okay? Anybody who pretends to be is automatically somebody you need. It's a big red flag. The alert comes, no, tang, 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 the alarm. That's that. That's your alarm to run the away. I'm sorry, pardon my French. But we very often walk into a red forest, not just a red flag. It's like a red, it's you can't. It's like a sepia filter. It's a red filter. You're walking right into it. Anybody who doesn't celebrate you for your authenticity, anybody who questions you, is sarcastic, speaks in a room that you're not a part of you in any way, and you're not there to, how do you say, guard yourself or, rebut that statement or that rumor or whatever. Anybody who starts a rumor about you, you have to stay away from them. I've realized this, that that's the best. It's the best insult. You don't even have to give them any sort of, pay any attention to them. Because just imagine if you do. Just imagine if you have to, for example, you look stunning in this outfit, okay? Now, if I had to tell you, don't wear this. No. And you'd be like, are you in your senses to tell me what I'm going to wear? And you're absolutely right. Who am I to tell you that? Or who is anybody to tell me how I wear my hair?
But the idea is to feel free in your mind when you feel that who is she to tell me how?
Yes.
Or you go home and you're bothered that she actually thought I didn't look good in that outfit.
Yes.
That the freedom comes from your own belief that you're free.
Yes, absolutely. And not being complacent or arrogant and saying that, for example, if I have signed up to portray a certain character on screen, then I have to completely surrender. I have to completely surrender to the character and the character sketch. Like, for example, when I did Thank You for Coming, in the film, I played a cishet man, okay, with all of this hair and with all of this. I had to break it down, unlearn and relearn again. I had to go back to default settings,
Right.
and it was dysphoric. It was difficult. But nobody came telling me that it's going to all be simple, na? Otherwise, what's the fun? Otherwise, you're just going to be Rani in every film. You're going to be this Sushant Rani is going to be the same what you see me on screen and off of it. So if I don't portray and I surrender to that character, if I don't surrender to the character, I'm not doing full justice. And therefore, that character is not going to have impact.
But you're Rani in true form. Like when I saw you when you walked in, I was blown by your feminine beauty.
Thank you.
And if I didn't know you, there was a Sushant, I wouldn't even dream of it. Let's put it that way. So why is Sushant still sort of attached to you?
If there was no, first of all, thank you, that's very kind. If Sushant was not in the picture, Rani would never be in the forefront. So I have not changed my name on the documents. A lot of people ask me, right? So why this? And that's a relevant question. And I'll choose when I have to and who I have to answer to. Mm-hmm. But just generally, when I say, it's a gift to myself for the fact that I sustained, I survived the onslaught. Because I'll tell you, I'm a 90s kid. And when we were growing up, we didn't have enough people to look up to in mainstream media. We didn't have people walking down the runways that were from my community, that looked like me, that I could feel connected to. Mm-hmm. We didn't see them in the films. We didn't see them in music videos. The only real representation we did see, and we wish we didn't, was when we were made a mockery of. We were molested openly in films, and that was okay. It was considered comic relief. And I think it's a collective blame we need to all take, because we were also okay with it. And then how can you expect that an entire generation and after generation will suddenly respect us?
Exactly.
How do you expect that? How do you expect children that are seeing this in the mainstream media, the heroes that they look up to and want to emulate, are abusing other people and other communities? Literally, physically, and verbally abusing.
And then you were born.
And then I was born. And then a star was born. So I had to sparkle and shine so bright that I had to dim this hate. I had to dim this hate not just for me, for every child that sees me today and believes in the fact that we deserve a life of dignity. That's that simple. The red carpets we lay for ourselves. We don't have to walk on those that abide by the binaries, abide by set norms. I love.
Where did you study?
In
You speak very well.
Thank you very much. That is one thing.
Your vocabulary, your expressions, your use of words.
Thank you. I believe that the biggest gift that my parents gave me was the power and the gift of education. What I did with that, I have classmates that I see are not necessarily this articulate and choose to be the way they are. I chose to be this. Every English lesson that I sat for, I sat with a dictionary because we studied Julius Caesar, we studied Shakespeare. I have studied Shakespeare in English, in literature, and till my 10th standard. And I was in one of the best schools in Mumbai, back then Bombay, and now Mumbai. I was in Arya Vidya Mandir, which was an Arya Samaj school. ICSE board. And we had Sanskrit as a compulsory subject. Now, Sanskrit is the mother of all languages.
Yeah.
So when you start from there, every language becomes easy. So I speak 9 Indian languages, and I can sing in 18.
Really?
Yes. And so that, I think,
That's
really
amazing.
Thank you.
And
really
at
set
what
the
point
tone.
did you learn these languages?
Over the years. So, I have always had the gift of gab. And then I just developed it because my father is an encyclopedia. So tomorrow if I go to my dad now, for example, and I say that I met you, he'll give me an entire, you don't need Wikipedia for it. He'll tell me everything about you. And when I did call him and tell him, he's like, did you know that she's a graduate in mathematics? I didn't know.
Wow.
So my father told me that about you. And anybody who believes that a model is dumb, and you know how they've labeled us, you have a graduate in mathematics, a former Miss India, and an entrepreneur, a faceted entrepreneur, let us say, a woman of substance. And then you have a double master's in psychology. And, we've all just been, we're, and so much more. We're so much more than just these nomenclatures. And but suddenly we're just diminished to, but she's a woman, na? अरे she's trans. ये क्या है? ये औरत है, ये मर्द है, trans है. मैं एक पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट हूँ और मेरी डबल मास्टर्स हो चुकी है मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी से, टॉपर रह चुकी हूँ मैं. एंड पर मैं ट्रांस भी हूँ, उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. बट डोंट मेक माई जेंडर. सो व्हेन आई वॉक इन टू अ रूम, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट I'm not here to showcase my gender. It's so much more than that. A person is so much more than, as I said, their pronouns.
Right.
That's not the first thing you asked me. Or that's not the first thing I know about you. Yes, it's an integral part of your journey. It's a very important part of how I address you. I must ask you, how do you like to be addressed? If you say your name is Queenie and I say, no, you look more like a Tanya. I'm sorry, I cannot call you Queenie. It's beyond me to understand how you can be a Queenie. It's stupid. You said your name is Queenie, I say, I go with it. It's so simple. And if you don't like it, get out. जिस दरवाजे से आए हो उसी दरवाजे से बाहर जाना है.
So growing up, at what point did you, I'm just interested to know myself, that at what point did you sort of demarcate that time where you said that the confusion set in?
It's all thanks to all of y'all. You all 90s and 80s girls, I have to say, first of all, the pop culture in the 80s and the 90s. Have you seen her on the, where is my camera, that one? Have you seen her on the runway? Have you seen her? आपने देखा है इन्हें? आप प्लीज देखिए जाके. He's saying नहीं देखा है. आप जाके देखिए इन्हें. ऐश्वर्या, सुष्मिता सारे साथ में करते थे मॉडलिंग, और हम ऐसे देखते थे कि इतनी नज़ाकत एक चलने में, मतलब चलने में भी, दैट्स एन आर्ट. You know, walking the runway is an art. So I sometimes feel like, yes, there should be diversity on the runway when it comes to color, gender, sizes, the way you are and stuff. But you have to be trained to walk. Right. You have to be trained to walk. Like, for example, it doesn't matter what size of pants or trousers you wear, but you should know how to walk the runway. And when we looked at you, we learned all of these things. Because as I said, हमारे जैसे तो आपने देखे नहीं होंगे रनवे पे ना, क्योंकि हमें मौके नहीं मिले थे. तो हमने इन्हें देख के हमने नज़ाकत सीखी है. We've looked at Rekha, we've looked at Queenie Singh, we've looked at Aishwarya, we've looked at Sushmita, we've looked at Candice, Diana, Yukta, Diya, Priyanka, Lara, all of these girls, and learned. So you have to give credit to the people that come before you and lay this foundation. So the 80s and 90s are to be blamed for, if you think that my generation or some of us are fabulous, it's thanks to you all.
So
I'm throwing it back. ये तुम्हारी गलती है.
So coming to the point where you felt that there is a confusion and you just want to, I can't use the word break free, but you just want to like be yourself.
Yes.
Whatever you feel most comfortable in, which part of yourself, you know. When was it? In your teens?
My parents actually, Queenie, you must meet them.
Do you have siblings?
I do. An older brother who is the Uno reverse version of me. Like, he's the most machismo, the most emasculate man that you know those Greek god sculptures. He's 6'2". He looks like the Hulk. And then, there is me. I also look like the Hulk when I'm in the gym, by the way. And I think that's the beauty of fluidity of gender, right? So all of these things are there in my history, when I read about cultural references, when we read about mythology, we see all the fact that if a queen had to go to war, she would still be a mother at home, but she would, cut you if she had to protect her kids and her kingdom, right? Or her queendom. If she had to support that, she had to protect. Yeah. So there are different avatars, and I realized I have all of them in me.
Because what you are sitting across here, I'm only seeing a very well-educated, well-spoken, largely knowledgeable, and very poised.
Thank you.
So you have a wild side to you.
I do. I do.
And
I think everyone should.
Yeah, everyone should.
Yeah.
But the wild side of the way you dress.
Yes, that's also, and I'll tell you, I'll just finish the where I found. When I saw Alicia Chennai, okay, now this is a shout out to Alicia, it was such a master stroke, let me tell you. Alicia Chennai taking out Milind Soman out of a sanduk in Made in India. That is when I was like, guys, I thought I wanted to be Alicia. I thought I wanted Alicia. Because you don't know. Because when you're born a boy, you're just like, acha, ye bahut khoobsurat hai. So, wo to thi. But because she wore those blonde wigs and, then she wore the Indian attire with the blonde wigs and the pearls and the tigers in her music video. And men from all over the world vying for her attention. And then this Milind Soman comes out of a treasure chest. And I was like, this is it. मुझे चाहिए अलीशा, but मुझे अलीशा का wardrobe चाहिए मुझे Milind Soman. Milind Soman Rohan, itna haseen aadmi.
He was my time. We worked
and then
a lot.
you know what? I realized Milind is a family friend, so I couldn't even sexualize him anymore. So then I was just like, oh God, ye bhi
But
gaya.
that's when you thought in
That's
your
when I
mind,
said, and then when I kind of,
Milind, are you listening?
Don't listen, please. Please, hey, bagu naka, because he used to train under my uncle at Otters Club. He was a national level swimmer.
Yeah, he's a
Milind
swimmer.
was a national level swimmer. I'm a national level swimmer. When I saw him in another 1-2 years in person, and he used to come home and stuff, to meet my uncle and all. So
That
then
crashed it.
they crashed it.
Crashed it.
Then I was like, okay, you know what? So this is what's happening inside me. And then whenever I used to sing or I used to perform as Ravina Tandon or Shilpa Shetty in my fancy dress competitions, and I used to dance to, all their songs and stuff. Urmila Tai was fantastic, as you know. So, all of them, Malaika and Chaiya Chaiya. So, see, they are all to be blamed for us. For all of us sort of being all these, these divas and all this. This is all them. Rekha ji, in Khoon Bhari Maang, what? That's the wild side of me. I think that, I don't think there has been till date any icon in this country bigger than Rekha ji. I think we must all thank her collectively for all of what she's done.
Right.
And through the years has glowed. You met her recently.
Yeah.
And I saw that, that you were there in a party together, in a gathering. And I was just like, look at her aura. Look at your aura. Like, for example, who would say that it was 1987 that you won your title in? Like, you are like this smile is the Mona Lisa smile. So we learned all this. And then I realized that, yes, we want to be like y'all, but we want the men. That's when I realized. I think Made in India, the music video is the one this is to be blamed. They should. Alicia is the one. Tum hi ho. Tumhari galti hai ye sab.
When you suppressed your feelings, because I just want now attention to the viewers.
Yes.
For people who are suppressing themselves or their feelings or not being allowed to feel a certain way by people or their fear. Fear is a big thing. So when they hear people like you who find freedom in your expression and and the way you want to be, because this is the way you are and this is the person you are, and it doesn't matter if you're a he or she or they or whatever it is, it's just the person. They hear this and they see it and they feel fearless. That's what I want you to talk about, because I come from the generation of the original models.
Mm-hmm.
And we were always exposed to a lot of the gay community, because at that point, I think the people who were coming out were more the designers than in general. So we interacted, they were, our cool friends, they were the best friends, and when you grow up with that kind of thing, or you grow up to be a woman with that kind of thing, it's very accepting. Mm-hmm. You're very accepting of it. Mm-hmm. And I wrote an article in 2008 about the Section 377, when there was a lot of turmoil about it. I wrote about it, and it was published in the front page of the Bombay Times, about how the community felt about the section. And I was one of the people who wrote about it strongly. And there were a lot of people, and subsequently, this came into favor for the community.
Right. So,
but as we go along, I also meet my friends, my really close friends, whose son, doesn't feel attracted to a woman anymore. And she says, hi. And I say, look, you have to be at least like me to think, let it go. But that poor kid is that's who I want you to talk to.
Yes. So this is very emotional, because I have lost a lot of my friends because they were not told this And I want to look dead in the camera and say this to every kid, every teenager, every young adult that's watching this. It's not easy. It's not easy being you in this country or in any country the way you are, because you are never going to adhere, even if you pretend and put up face to please somebody, your parents, be it your friends, be it your co-workers, anybody, or society. You put up a front, but behind closed doors, you are going to suffer, right? So it's not going to be easy whether you are out of the closet. A lot of times when you're out of the closet, a lot of people are going to judge you. A lot of people are going to say nasty things. A lot of people say a lot of nasty things about me, knowing that I hold the power today, that I do, that I did not maybe a decade back. But when a decade back, I have to tell you, I was still at it. I did no choice. I had no choice, because I had to push the envelope and eventually tear it, because these envelopes were made by people within the binaries of gender or orientation, or did not even understand what is the difference between sexual orientation, gender, what is a transgender person, what's an intersex person. Nobody knew, neither did we. We didn't know that there are so many intersections within the community. It is tough. It is very tough to make somebody understand why this pronoun, why not that pronoun, why am I choosing to be with a man, or why am I choosing to be with nobody. I'm asexual. I don't want to be sexually attracted to anyone, and that's a choice. And this is going to be tough, this journey. But let me tell you, it's also tough for cisgendered people. It's also tough for heterosexual people. It's tough for a woman. It's tough for a man. It's just tough generally. And life is tough, but life is also beautiful. Life is a gift.
Absolutely.
And I want to tell you all, live through this tough phase, because when you get to the end of the tunnel, oh, you'll have stories to tell. And we'll be waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. So you're not alone. Maybe there are certain, वो कहते हैं ना कि मंजिलों को पहुंचने के लिए काफ़ी रास्ते आपको अकेले ही तय करने पड़ेंगे. So you have to make sure that you walk certain roads alone, and you will find the peace in that. But once you've crossed them, so there will be a lot of speed breakers, there will be a lot of twists and turns, there will be a lot of thorns in the form of people pretending to be your friends, people pretending to be caring family. There will be people, there will be instances, बहुत सारी चीज़ें मोड़ आएंगे ऐसे जहाँ पे you'll feel के I should end this. And I am telling you, because if I lived through the 90s and I am the person I am today, is because I had people who were not in the mainstream like me, but we had the power of chosen family. We chose families. We chose people that we called mother, although we had a mother at home, but we had a transgender mother. We had a mother at the kotha. We had the mother in the brothels. We had the mother doing sex work, was a doctor, still a mother. You know, we had mothers everywhere. And I think when you know that we are there for you, it will make it easier, but it's not going to be less tough. I'm not going to faff around. I'm not going to lie to you. So when you watch this, जब आप देखेंगे, मैं आपको कह रही हूँ खुद से कि ये आसान नहीं होगा. This will not be easy. This is not an easy road. But it is a road that you will feel fully fulfilled once you have walked all of it. If you take a shortcut, and if you take one of these cuts, or you jump and not take a certain obstacle thrown at you, take all of it. Take all of it in, and then release. At the end of the tunnel, when you release, you have this beautiful, sight that you see and you show. So if I hadn't seen that sight, and I hadn't seen the acceptance that there was a ray of hope, right? There's a ray of light at the end. You can see there is. But kab aayega? Sometimes. It took me 18 years to get my first film. Does that mean that I was not good enough for those 17 and a half years? No.
But the 18 years can even take for a heterosexual.
But that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
The journey is not only, attributed to your community, because you are suppressed. We are suppressed. But so are men and women also. Yes, in a patriarchal form of how we function mostly, it's wrong to say that we even in the boardroom have equal representation. It's in an optimistic world, yes. In a realistic world, we still have a long way to go, even for women. Even for women, when it comes to why we need laws to protect us. Why aren't stricter laws made to condemn men? Or why aren't laws made to condone the safety of men? What about workplace abuse that happens with men? People don't end up not believing them. But that's a reality as well.
That's a reality.
So men need to be taken care of. Women need to be taken care of. Our children, children need to be taken care of. Now, whether they are boys or girls, it doesn't really matter. Or whether they're intersex, whether they're transgender, it doesn't matter. The child is a child. But children are also being abused. So what about that? Are we doing anything about it? We need to be vociferous. We need to be vocal. We need to be fiercely vocal. And if it intimidates you, if it makes you uncomfortable, it should. It should. If it makes you uncomfortable to be in a room with two powerful people, regardless of our gender, and you're like, what? क्या समझती है अपने आप को? मैं कुछ नहीं समझती. तुम क्या समझते हो कि मैं क्या समझती हूँ अपने आप के? Work on that. Work on what you think I think of me. You shouldn't think of me at all. That's when you'll start breathing better. Your BP will go back to normal. You'll sleep better because you don't have to retrace what you said about somebody. And that's what I want to tell this generation is, do your best and leave the rest. But do your best.
Talking about beauty, what does beauty mean to you?
I think beauty is, for me, celebrating my authenticity. My skin doesn't need to look like yours. I don't want it to look like yours. If I don't want my eyebrows to look like yours, I don't want my hair to be straight all the time. मैं खुद straight नहीं हूँ, मेरे बाल कहाँ से straight होंगे? So it's that. मैं क्यों आपके जैसे लगूँ? मुझे नहीं लगना. वरना मैं क्वीनी बन जाऊँगी ना. Then she'll be, is that Queenie? I don't want that. ये रानी है. आपको दूर से ही नजर आऊं और दूर से ही पता चले कि मैं रानी हूं.
What is your take on Adam and Eve?
Well, I didn't see them. I don't know.
But you've heard stories.
I've heard stories about everybody.
And you don't think that Adam and Eve played a very, very important role in a child's mind?
I have heard stories about Shiv Shakti. I've heard stories about the Ardhanarishwar. I can tell you about that. I've really not heard enough about Adam and Eve. I believe that our children in India should be taught their culture, should be taught their mythology, and then you can choose whether you want to take it or not. I have chosen to read about Adam and Eve, and for me, I've read about them, and that's that. But I've read about how powerful our goddesses are, how we worship every goddess for everything that we want in our lives. You want money, you sit at Lakshmi's feet. You want talent, you want knowledge, you sit at Saraswati's feet. You want power, you want to be protected, you sit at Kali's feet, Durga's feet. जय माता दी बोल के हम जय माता दी बोलते तो हैं, फिर एडम एंड ईव के बारे में क्यों मैं पढ़ूँ? I really honestly don't know, and I don't want to know. It doesn't serve any purpose in my life. But I will tell you about the Ardhanarishwar and how that has shaped me. And it has given me so much strength to be myself and not adhere to beauty standards. When you say I'm non-binary, when I say I'm transgender, तो मेरे में तो दोनों शक्तियाँ हैं. मैं क्यों सिर्फ अब now if somebody comes to mess with my team who's so many girls and queer people, or somebody messes with you, मैं उसको मर दूँ कि जैसे नहीं, मैं उनको मेरे जैसे कूटूंगी ना, then they will know what the hell, what is this? So दोनों energies हैं, मैं बरकरार रखती हूँ. मुझे जो भी बोलते हैं ना, सलवार में तलवार दो, तो तलवार चलाऊंगी, तब तुम्हें पता चलेगा. So don't lose statements and all. But my thing is, what I have heard in my history, it's only been empowering when you choose to take what you want to choose and reject what doesn't make sense to you. That's true power and that's true beauty. And the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, yes. But the eyes of the beholder must first look at themselves in the mirror and feel beautiful. Then your lens of looking at other people will change. And so for me, my cultural references, I'll finish, have only taught me to be loving and caring to everybody. Ardhanareshwar teaches you that without male and female energy, one cannot form another being. You need the male and female within one person, or you need them to come together to create the universe, or you need to balance the two. You have to have, even you have male energy in you, you have female energy and male energy in you. You might not be the most, by the book, the most feminine face. You might not talk like this. You've got a nice voice. And so celebrate. Does that make you less of a woman? If you've got larger breasts than another woman, does that make you more and her less? Or do you feel that you're not woman enough because your dresses don't reach your bum? It's terrible. These beauty standards must end. And you create your own. Be beautiful. As I said, this banter can go on, but I'm just saying, you just be yourself. Everybody has to adjust. नहीं हो रहा, adjust निकलो. नहीं होता है, कभी-कभी नहीं होता है. निकलो ना.
But when you dress up like a beautiful woman, like you are just now, do you feel more associated with a beautiful woman?
I don't associate. See, so when I wear, for example, a sari, I am giving homage, I pay homage to my grandmother, to Rekha ji, who's for me the living goddess, to my parents, to my mother, to all the feminine energy in my life. But when I wear a kurta or a pajama and I wear a tuxedo or I wear a trousers and I wear a shirt and a jacket, that's celebrating my male energies. So, and sometimes it's a combination of both. Sometimes I'll just be like, don't shape my eyebrows too thin, because I don't want to pass off. I want people to understand that you should not adhere to what a woman should look like or whatever. How do I now reduce my triceps, for example? I go to the gym, right? I don't want to get an implant to increase the size of my breast. Currently, if I feel like I want my body to look a certain way, I may do it. If I don't want to do it, how you can tell me, ki nahi, you're a trans person, why you've not got your surgeries? I can also tell you, why couldn't you keep your child in control? He's been going and, going to every bed and warming it. Mind your own business.
But have you got a role as of today as only one gender? Like either just a man or just a woman? Or it's all been trans roles?
No. I've played I told you in my first film that I've done on the silver screen. Sorry, not the theaters. In the theaters, the film was. Now it's on Netflix. But I played a cis man. Not a cis man. A cisgendered means like, a man who's born a man and is in love with a woman, sort of a man. I played that and I had the
and you were a good actor.
Fortune. I am not going to say whether I'm good or bad. I've had a blast. I put, as I said, all this hair inside a small wig, and I felt very dysphoric at the point, because I was like, okay, this is very I had to channel that part, so this part and then that part.
Do you have another voice?
No, this is my voice.
This is your voice.
But I can alter it, and it can go like that, but it can also go like this.
That's an actor.
That's an actor.
Yeah.
That's an actor. And I started with, musical theatre. So, उसमें retakes नहीं होते ना. There
एक
were
song
no
गाइए
retakes.
एक
चलो, let's sing a song for you.
Sing a song for me.
हम राज हम ख्याल तो हो, हम नजर बनो, तय होगा जिंदगी का सफर, हम सफर बनो, हम राज हम ख्याल तो हो, हम नजर बनो, तय होगा जिंदगी का सफर, हम सफर बनो, आहा 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 ओ हो के उजले उजले बहारों में ले चलूं, दिल झूम जाए ऐसे बहारों में ले चलूं, आओ हुजूर तुमको सितारों में ले चलूं, दिल झूम जाए ऐसे बहारों में ले चलूं, आओ हुजूर आओ.
Oh my God. That
Clap,
was
clap, clap.
that was perfect. There wasn't one note that went. It was perfect.
Thank
How
you.
much riyaz do you do every day?
So earlier I used to do 6 hours of riyaz because, and it was very different from how classical singers
6
do it.
hours.
6 hours. So I used to wake up in the morning to release. So because I have a lot of acid reflux that happens, and a lot of singers have this issue.
Goose flesh. Fantastic.
So 2 hours in the morning, then 2 hours to open the voice. Then you inevitably, when you're singing and on tour, you are anyway in the studio for 2-3 hours. So cumulatively, my whole day goes in learning more. Like for example, I sing rock, I growl, I sing semi-classical folk. So from something like, you saw the harkats and the gamaks, they're called. The murkiyan and all of this is there. But then there's also, there's a fire starting in my heart, reaching the fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay ocean bare. We could have had it all, rolling in the deep. You have my heart inside your hand, and you played it, you played it, you played it, you played it to the beat. It's multi-genre.
Oh my
So
God.
I never
Guys,
say no. I never say
mean-
no to.
Wow.
If you have a show and if you have the money to put on the table so I can feed my family, call me. मैं कोई भी
Are you
genre में गाऊं.
very expensive.
I am not very expensive. My tastes are in men. but I've slowly become the man I wanted to marry. Because I got a house, I got a car, I got everything that I need, I got a wonderful family. I've become the man that I wanted to marry. Fantastic. Look, I don't even need that. Yes, I need bookings. I will come, I'll make time for everyone that wants to have me. That's perfect, right? And especially weddings. I love to do weddings. I'll tell you why. Because there's this special power that they say that we have as to bless people. And I love that because, you're calling me on your special day. And I do so many weddings that they call me for their special day. And then it's tailor-made to the bride likes Madonna. But the groom likes the Lair Mehndi. So it's all of it. So I do all of it. From Madonna to Beyonce to the Lair Mehndi to Sunidhi Chauhan to Kishore Kumar, Lata Didi, Asha Didi, Unki Didi, Sabki Didi. Everybody I do. And I think that that's the best part. Because एक ही artist में इतना again, how much are they saving? Ask them. Ask them, because I'll come in a sari, I'll sing a little, Dil ko hazar baar roka, roka, roka. And then I'll be like, Ye dana aaj aasmaan se. So it's a mix of everything. And I think I enjoy it. I enjoy my work. ऐसा लगता ही नहीं है कि मैं काम पे जाती हूँ. मुझे इतना मज़ा आता है ना लोगों को खुश करने में. तो
But you know why there is so much confidence in you? Because you're talented.
That's also there actually.
You know it is there.
मुझे
Because
पता नहीं
when
है,
you
but I
have
think
that much talent, then you can cross any barrier.
देखिए टैलेंट बहुत है, घमंड नहीं है. हाँ.
But it's true. I mean,
Thank
I'm just understanding. I've become your fan.
How sweet.
Yeah, I'm your
Queenie,
fan.
but
I'm
you
your
must.
fan.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. And you must come home.
I
This
will.
is not
I
just a
will.
social statement. Please, you have it on camera. I will still only make chai. I have a wonderful chef at home. वो आपकी बहुत खातिरदारी करेंगे, but I will only make tea. I don't know the difference between rat poison and salt. So, I want you alive.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Thank
Just
you.
I don't have dairy, so any alternate milk.
Anything
Chalo.
you want. Give us a menu and we'll make it. And I'll sing for you live. What a lovely evening.
That is...
It's already planned.
That
We'll block your date.
No, seriously. I mean, for that singing, truly, you're a star.
Thank you.
How do you want to be remembered in your community?
I know for a fact that whenever you do an interview that's going to be a footprint and it's going to be there forever. I want, when people see this 20 years later, 30 years later, I want them to know that, wow, she was beyond her years, and he, she, they were beyond their years. And the fact that I'm grateful to the people that came before me. You share your podium, you share your pedestal with people that are not in the room but have done a lot for you to walk into this room. I want them to remember gratitude. I want them to remember thankfulness and to be thankful to the generation that came before them. And that's it. Because when you go with the blessings of your forefathers and people that came before you, that's all.
That's all.
That's all really that matters. And when kids see this, जब 20 साल बाद 30 साल बाद जब हम ना रहें या फिर whatever, कभी ना कभी तो बंद होगी नहीं.
अभी तो बहुत time है.
हाँ, but जब भी होगा, that time I want people to know that modernity also doesn't come with what you wear. आपके कपड़े पहनने से, कौन से कपड़े पहने उससे मॉडर्निटी नहीं दिखाई दे. आपकी सोच विचार से मॉडर्निटी देखी जाती है. सो हाउ यू आर एक्सेप्टिंग ऑफ एवरीबडी, हाउ यू आर इन्वॉल्व इन, हाउ यू विल मेक अ चेंज इन योर इमीडिएट सराउंडिंग्स. आई कांट इम्प्रूव व्हाट्स हैपनिंग अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, बट आई कैन इम्प्रूव व्हाट्स हैपनिंग अराउंड मी by just being present, by being and acknowledging and fully taking accountability for my actions. आई कांट, मैं क्या करूँ अब, मैं अगर आप मेरे बारे में कैसे कुछ सोचते हैं, मैं वो बदल नहीं सकती, बट मैं अपने आप को बदल सकती हूँ. आई कैन गेट बेटर एवरी डे. आई हैव टू वर्क ऑन वॉट आई डिड येस्टरडे एंड हाउ आई कैन बेटर दैट. आज भी मेरा गला थोड़ा सूखा हुआ था, सो आई हैव हैड लाइक सम 16 glasses of water. But the thing is that how will I strengthen my voice so that it doesn't get tired easily? That is what I should concentrate on. Not who said what about me in what interview and what post, what they think about what I wore. Why am I talking like this? Why? You had fun talking about me in a bad light. I want them to remember me for this.
What's your biggest insecurity?
My biggest insecurity is, again, it is to do with me only. My biggest insecurity is if I let my inner saboteurs win. जो मेरे अंदर की जो होता है ना, यू हैव अ डार्क एंड यू हैव गुड साइड एंड यू हैव अ डार्क साइड. आई हैव टू कीप अ बैलेंस एंड आई हैव टू लेट द ब्राइटर साइड overshadow and over a little more than the dark side. Everybody has a dark side, but I have to work on that. So my insecurity is that should not win. That should never.
I don't see it though.
Yeah, I mean
I mean, obviously I'm not going to see it today, but I'm saying that it's difficult to believe that when you come through a struggle in your life that you still acknowledge that dark side exists.
Of course there is, and everybody has it. They might not say it because people are so hell bent on looking holier than thou कि मैं तुमसे बेहतर हूँ, मैं तो ये हूँ, मैं आँख बंद करके मुझे भगवान दिखता है.
Do you judge? Do you judge people?
No.
Never.
I say again, ये लोग जो ऐसे ढोंग करते हैं ना कि मेरे को भगवान का आशीर्वाद है, तो हम पे क्या है? हम पे भूत है? हमको कौन है? हम कोई सुरपनाका की औलादे हैं? आप में क्या स्पेशल है? What is this rubbish? भगवान की तो कृपा सब पे है. आपको दो हाथ दो पैर नहीं भी हो, बट आई यूज टू से दिस अ लॉट, लाइक आपको 2 हाथ है 2 पैर हैं जो चल रहे हैं, वो भगवान की, बट आपकी सांसें चल रही हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. दिस इज द कृपा. वॉट यू डू विथ योर ब्रेथ. सम पीपल, इतने सारे लोग हैं जो बोलते हैं कि नहीं आप योगा क्यों इतना योग करते हो, योग को इतना बढ़ावा क्यों देते हो, बिकॉज योग इज़ नॉट मी. अष्टांग योग विच इज द क्लासिकल फॉर्म ऑफ योग. आजकल तो कोई भी डांस वांस करके योगा बोलता है उसको, तो ये तो बहुत ही मनहूस बातें हैं. और आई फील दैट जो हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने योगा किया है, इट टॉट अस वेरी बेसिक थिंग्स कि यू इनहेल एंड एक्सहेल, कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन योर सेल्फ. आँख बंद करो, ध्यान करो. ध्यान से आपको पता चलेगा कि व्हाट आर यू डूइंग रॉन्ग. Forget the people around you. What is meditating? What is deep meditation? You have to shut yourself from what's happening around you
Right.
to then go internally and see what's wrong with you.
Right.
That's what it is. It's really that. It's that simple. Yeah. Ab now I can't expect people. Dekho.
But tell me one thing.
That's
Do you
bad
even wear
cooking.
dresses? Do you wear dresses?
I wear everything. I told you ना, you put good enough money on the table, I will do everything. मैं ऐसी भी नहीं हूँ कि मैं शादियों में नहीं नाचती. Some singer had said, आप शादियों क्योंकि आपको ऐसी नौबत नहीं आई, बट हमको पैसे कमाने हैं. आपके टाइम पे सारे गाने आपने ही गाए थे. अभी टाइम्स आर डिफरेंट, सभी को काम मिल रहा है. अब मुझे ये काम मिल रहा है, मैं तो बार में भी नाची हूँ. आई हैव डांस्ड एट डांस बार्स. सो व्हाट्स द बिग डील? आई हैव डांस्ड एट ऑन माधुरी सॉन्ग्स, मैन.
Really?
I've danced on Madhuri's, Shri Devi songs. Are you trying to tell me it's some
But did you
LS
hold a
behavior?
job? Did you hold a job?
I did. My first job was a market research executive. I have, as I told you, my favorite subjects were research methodology, RM, and statistics. Now, for you, if you said something about maths, people will be like, what rubbish. But that's what you graduated as a mathematics
Postgraduated.
major and postgraduated. So what are you talking about? My thing is, my first job was as a qualitative and quantitative researcher. I was actually also a VJ at the time for a youth channel, a leading youth channel. And I was doing 3 jobs. I was giving tuitions, I was doing this market research agency job, and I was shooting.
You really took your parents seriously, huh?
Yeah, they said.
जाकर काम करो.
Yeah, they said ये सब नखरे तेवर यहाँ नहीं चलेंगे. घर के बाहर जाके दिखाओ, और जब भी अंदर आओगे ये सोच के आना कि ये तुम्हारे बाप का ही घर है. तो बाप के रूल्स चलेंगे.
What is your current what is your struggle presently? I mean, I can imagine the past, but currently, what is your biggest struggle?
You know, I haven't spoken about this a lot. I shifted into my first ever new home last year, and it burned to ashes this year in a house fire.
Actually burnt.
It burned to ashes because my AC burst, and
I'm
burnt.
so sorry.
I lost everything materialistic. But what I understood out of that fire, and this is what happens when you worship someone as phenomenal, a goddess as phenomenal as Kali. You see growth even in destruction. I saw that I was getting complacent. Now I have moved into a 4.5 palatial bedroom, hall, kitchen, indoor lift, outdoor lift, a VIP section for all my friends to sit in, and then the people that I may not enjoy that much, but I mean they're my colleagues, and I have a reading, or so there's a separate section for that. My living room is palatial, and I take full credit for it. But if I had to do, and I don't want to use the word, but if I had to, so I'm going to use an alternative which seems more politically correct. If I had to throw a pity party and not take up the jobs that I got in June, in July, and August, then by this month, September and October, I would not be living this life. Because I had a choice to either go into therapy, go here, there. I took 3 days off from everything. The 4th day, I had to throw this party because my partner and I had promised that we'll call our friends, and there was about 150 friends at the Lalit Hotel. I didn't cancel that. I spent my money. I promised the caterers that I'll pay them.
When did this fire happen?
In May. And 3 days later, my partner arrived, and he was like, are you fine? And this and that, from Australia. And he's like, are you sure you want to do this? I said, yes. Because 3 days till you came, I took my therapy. I cried. मेरे आँखों में से खून निकलने लगा था, like type.
I can imagine.
Because I lost everything.
Yeah.
But then what I was left with was the most important thing of my life, and that's me.
You were in the house?
I was in the house. And I will say this, the most important thing to me is me. And that's not being selfish, that's just being rational. Because if you're going to say, ये मेरा सोफा जल गया, मैं सोफा लेके जाऊंगी बाहर. अबे यार, तुम अपने बुजुर्ग माता पिता को लेके गए, तुम्हारी छोटी भांजी है. My staff was there. All of us were there at home when the fire broke. All of us, not one scratch. Everything is in ashes. We had to move out. There was no way, because I would have had to start working again. I didn't have the privilege to call it a day and be like, no. 3 days I shifted to the Lalit Hotel, and my drag mother, the person that has, sort of given me solace in their support is Keshav Suri, who's the, the owner, in a manner of speaking, of the Lalit group. And I had his support. Otherwise, I would have been on the streets, And I take that as a learning. Like, I could do this to be here. So even in that fire, I said, that burnt my complacency. नज़र हट गई. जिसने भी
नज़र हट गई.
हमारे इसमें होता है कि अगर वो भस्म कर देते हैं ना, स्वाहा कर देते हैं, तो जो भी बुरी नज़र थी मेरे इर्द गिर्द, वो जल गई. मेरे 2 साल से एक रुका हुआ था एक वेब सीरीज़, वो भी रिलीज़ हो गया. मेरे को इतने सारे कैंपेन्स मिले. आई बिकेम द फेस, द डिजिटल फेस ऑफ मैक कॉस्मेटिक्स. आई started doing more brand collaborations than ever. The next month I was the most booked artist live, and you won't hear this a lot in the media, because I don't pay people to follow me and how my bum looks and how I look from the behind and what my hair is looking like today and how far up my chest is and how much have I padded and what did I do and who did I sleep with, and I don't pay for all this. So, but the thing is that I pay, what I pay for is transgender people to get education, healthcare, and a good life. So I use my money there.
Are you close to your mum or dad?
Both.
Equally?
Yeah. That is why I celebrate both the energies in me, because I am a good mix of both of them. And I'm very happy that it's the case. I'm very happy for the good genes. I'm very happy for the good upbringing, and they've inculcated whatever they have. And I hope that I'm doing them proud. And that's...
And they live with you?
They live around, but because I need a bigger space to... carry out my work on a daily routine, because there are 7 people in my house. So I don't want that to interfere with their privacy.
And their routine?
They have a room in my house. वो तो आते हैं. Then when they want to get pampered, they'll come. They'll make it look like नहीं हम ठीक हैं.
But you support them?
Completely. They don't. There was a time when we used to go to buy toys, and my father would see it, and he's such a wonderful man, and what an asset to have anywhere he worked, really. Oh God, I don't want to get emotional. And I used to choose a toy, and he would look at, I was young, but I knew what was happening. He would look at the price tag, and he would... And I had an older brother who wanted the most expensive GI Joes, and who wanted the most expensive cars, and those electronic cars and stuff. And I would say, I saw that, and so today I have given them both a card with unlimited expending power, and so whatever my mother wants to get, whatever she wants to get for my dad would never take money from me. But I have to tell my mom to take, because, I'm making for who? For them. So, I'm trying not to cry. Only because the makeup will get... and then we'll have to break. And then she'll fire me for crying and spoiling the makeup. But it's okay to cry. Oh, my eyes are fully... It's okay to cry.
You're making me kind of shed a tear, and I'm usually quite hard-hearted.
Yeah. And that made me realize that they will get whatever they want, whenever they want, and they will, as I said, my father will never sleep on the floor again.
Rani, I would just go on and on. I would go on and on talking to you.
I know.
I figured that, yeah.
We figured that about each other.
Yeah, I enjoyed every bit of it. And... but I have a rapid round to ask you. Drag or activism?
Drag that has become activism now. Drag has become activism. And I think that's the most beautiful part of it.
Quickly, drag, how associated it growing up was the group Kiss.
Oh, yes!
I was made for loving you. That was my
Of course, the wigs, the makeup, and the whiskers. I
And
loved
you know,
it.
in a movie recently, Why Him?
Yes.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I
You
haven't.
must see it.
I heard about
They
it.
actually bring the group
To perform.
to just 3 minutes.
Listen, but that was iconic.
Yeah.
They were iconic.
They
of
were
course.
iconic.
Yeah.
Skincare routine in one word.
Necessary.
First crush, celebrity or real life? We
Milind Soman.
We already know. Okay.
Yeah, what's the use? It's a family now. So
A drag name you'd never choose.
I'm happy with my name. So any other name is pointless. Rani is the queen. KoHEnur is the most expensive diamond.
Yeah.
And she's the queen of hearts. So
Best compliment you've ever received.
and that I have my father's smile and my mother's eyes.
You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
What would you say to your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to be who I am and remember that there's nobody like me. There cannot be anyone like me. And to just keep going because that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. That's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. But they're eventually going to become your fans because you're going to show your art to the world and your art is going to win them. And that's the best. That's the best gift you can give yourself. That's what I would tell myself. क्योंकि लोग
Let
तो
me tell you,
uncomfortable हो जाएंगे.
1 decade later, you tell something else to your younger self.
Yes, yes.
You know, it'll change.
Yes, it will. It will.
Biggest skincare fail.
When you don't wear like moisturizer or a primer before makeup, you have to give your skin a little bit of pyar before you do the war.
If not Sushant, who would you be?
I think I would be my mom, so that then I could create me. I guess I'm a gift to the world. I believe it. So I would create a Sushant.
Describe your journey so far in one word.
Amazing, thankful, grateful. It has been a wonderful ride, and today, if you honestly ask me if I was given a choice to see the people happy around me and just go tomorrow, I would. So I have really done whatever I wanted to. People like it, don't like it. Too bad. I've had a blast.
You still have a long way, my love.
Yeah.
A beauty hack you swear by.
The wing liner. It just changes the shape of your eyes and your face.
Yeah.
And I think it does me a lot of good.
It actually gives you a lift.
It does. A natural lift now because you make it more feline. Like
Yeah.
it's very like that. मेरी आँखें ऐसे नहीं है. ये झूठ है. ये
झूठ नहीं है. But I'm telling you because I'm into anti-aging, so that the wing dye is actually anti-aging.
Right.
People
okay.
don't understand that. They think it's style and
Yeah.
that and
See?
sexy and all. It's
I have
actually-
cracked the code.
Your biggest regret in life.
I think the biggest regret in life should be in out of some, a lot of people are like, no, I don't have any regrets in life. I also used to say this in a lot of interviews, but I think the regret that I had was when I was still adhering to, when I was not being my complete, true, authentic self. I think that's the biggest regret because I wasted that many years.
How many years?
Many, many years. Out of 34 years, I may have wasted a substantial amount. Half of it, at least. 17 years is a lot to
But
waste.
that's why you got here.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So I would have liked, that is the only probably regret, that I think I didn't understand my power. That is the regret. And now that I do understand it, I'm unstoppable.
And one beauty product you can't live without?
I would say foundation. I guess, because you can live without a lipstick. You can live without a mascara. But if you're in this industry, little foundation you need. In this industry, though that's why.
my
But I can otherwise live without a makeup. I love living without makeup. Like if I have 1-2 days off, I love it. I'm just like, breathe, darling. You've done a lot of service. Breathe. I love. But in this industry, I would say foundation. Even the men use the foundation more than the women because they don't have good skincare routines. That's just the reality.
But you
Jo
know
bhi
my
kehte hain.
formulator who's made my product?
Yes, the doctor.
Dr. Dinyar.
Yeah, I love him. First of all, he's got the most calming energy ever. He's got the best eyebrows, first, let me tell you.
Yeah.
He's got the most beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the advertisements of...
But you've never met him.
I have never met him, but I would love to.
But I'd like you to meet him. Because he's
Tell me
not
when.
only healing, he's also, he relates to your community.
Right.
And he's amazing.
Well
But he
done.
conforms.
Right.
He wears a pant and a shirt.
And that's okay, because that's personal choice.
Yeah.
And again...
And he's a genius. Let me tell you.
is.
Sensitive genius. He's made the best skincare for us,
Yeah.
which I'm going to give you.
Fantastic.
And it's a routine.
So I have to continue it.
So you please
I'm glad.
use it as a routine,
I will.
which means double cleanse.
Yes.
Cleanse, wash,
Yes.
eye.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
I like.
And
That's why, na?
yeah.
Chamak.
Yeah, chamak. And we have
No
something.
wrinkles yet. But if I get also, I think...
You're 34, baby. Relax.
Listen. No, yeah.
You got age on your side.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that I am whatever age I want to be, and I have never shied away from wearing what I want to wear at what age or whatever. They say, in your 30s, you should be a little... I'm like, you be. You want to be, you be. I'm going to have fun.
30s.
I bought these shoes. I will wear them because I bought them and I could afford them. You don't like them, look the other way. Tumko pehenne ko nahi bola.
Guys, 30s is the decade to do what
Everything.
you want. Because
Everything.
20s, you're trying to find yourself.
Yeah,
you
then
still
तो
haven't
पैसे
found.
नहीं है.
And
पैसे नहीं होते 20s
पैसे नहीं होते.
30s में सब है.
You keep falling in love. Every fortnight you're in love, or you trying to get some man or some woman.
I mean, at least मेरे 20s में नहीं थे पैसे. I mean, इतने सारे, but...
30s,
and then
bindas.
40s is then you have more fun. Actually, 40s is more fun. And 50s is even more fun because then you see your whole people around you. You can make them have fun.
And you have the wisdom. Rani, we started this by saying that when you said, I am just fabulous. And I have to say that it's a proper testimony.
Thank
to that.
you. Thank
You
you.
truly are fabulous. And that voice, I mean, it's beyond.
Thank you.
It's beyond. You will be at a very, very high level soon.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're getting there.
Thank you.
I just wish you all the best and make the difference to the people who want to be heard, not only to a particular community, but to the world.
To the world.
To the world about suppression, about
Yes.
freedom of choice, about being who they are, being better versions of who they are instead of emulating. All these things to everybody.
Yes. Every child is worth their while.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.